Well, hello there. Yes, I am back. It's been quite a while, guys, but yeah, you've been patient. Here I am. Okay, a few things first. Thank you to everyone who once again has been watching my other tutorials. Two of them are going to be made semi-redundant by this one, namely because a lot of people have been asking or saying, how do we really do this? How do I make the rainbow exactly as I've shown it? I can't do this, it's too complicated, you haven't explained enough, and various other comments. Everything's been really positive, but it's also a bit, well, yeah, you've shown us, but you've not shown us enough. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the start to finish of this. I'm going to use my, I think this is from a car prize pack, Nissan Silvia, the S15. I love this thing. It's, well, my other car, not this thing, it's a piece of shit. It's not tuned. Actually, it's not a piece of shit really, is it? It's actually a good car. So I'll show you everything that I do to customise the car and that I've done to get both the SLR and Aventador to look as they have. Now I will say this might take a little while. Feel free to pause it. I'm going to make intervals in between each part as well to make it easy for you guys to digest, so if there's certain parts you didn't really get, instead of thinking, oh shit, I missed that bit, you can then go back and then start that part again if you wish, or you can skip to a different part as well. So I'll have headers, I'll have everything else that I don't normally have. Anyway, first things first, the basic parts. That's the paint job. Now, you did hear me right, even though it's a car completely covered with vinyls, I still changed the paint colour. Now, the paint will have an effect on the vinyls that are above it. Now, I'll quickly show you this. I'm going to paint the car black to start with. And what we're going to do, we're going to need a vinyl across the whole car anyway, so I'm going to do that as well. Going to go to shapes, square, chuck one down. I'm going to make it the red as well that we're going to need. I'm just going to make things easier. Across the whole car, across the spoiler too. There we go, that should be enough. Finish customising, yeah, that's fine. Right, okay. Now the car is currently painted black. As you can see, 0, 1, 0, whatever it is. Now you paint the car white, and it does that. Okay. Black, white, black, white. Makes a big, big difference. I personally go for white because it makes the car the brightest it can possibly be. You can, if you want to have an ultra red car for instance, do something like that because that just really shines out. I should point out, by the way, even though the computer is fairly decent now, it's not an all singing all dancing affair, but it's certainly better than I had before. I'm still running this at the moment on medium graphics. It just makes it easier to actually video this. It means I'm not going to lag, at least it's not as much as I used to. So yeah, you might find slightly different results on higher graphics, or even high or not exceptional, maximum. You knew what I meant. So yeah, your results might vary, but you can tone down the brightness of the car by using the gradients or the greys as you see fit. I, like I said, personally go for white because I like my cars to really stand out and go, holy crap, there's his car. So let's save that as white, and then we'll move on to the next section. Okay, so the next thing to do is, well, no other word for it. Let's go to the vinyl shop and start throwing some down. The vinyl set you're looking for is kerosene. Okay, it might take a little while to unlock it because I have been playing this game for several years now, or a few years, and my vinyl sets have been unlocked for quite a long time, and yeah, so anyway, if you don't have them unlocked, I'll try and progress up the levels until you can do so. when you do, you'd be looking down in here. Now, not the little squiggly lines and the mess. What you're looking for is the ones with the square on the edge. It doesn't matter which one of these you use, they're all pretty much the same. Don't use that one though, because it's a bit odd in the centre, so yeah, don't. I generally try and use that one because it's just easier to use for me anyway. What we're going to do, there are, on the other design, there are 26 of these. That's right, 26 at 300 a pop. Okay, 300 credits, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's getting expensive, guys. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, 7,800 credits later. Now there's a bit of a mishmash there. It's going to look pretty rubbish if we just leave the design like that. So what you need to do, move mode. I'm going to bring the vinyl all the way to the very back, and then all the way, let's say all the way to the right, because they're facing a different way. Now you can see the spoiler change colour there. That generally means that the vinyl is in the right place. For some reason on the corners, way over here somewhere, like out there, if you put the vinyl to, what would it be over that direction there? That's my brother, probably. It will be changing the spoilers and the mirrors to a different colour, so that's actually a handy tip for you guys as well, by the way. Move all the cut vinyls as far back as you really can. Just wait a few seconds and do the same for that one. There you go, that's back there as well. And to the right. There it is. And again. Now, okay, this is probably the most boring part of doing this because there's just so damn many of them. But I'll explain why I'm doing this in a moment. Now, previous videos I've made, I think 1 or 2, I try to explain that if you got the vinyls exactly lined up, it's a lot easier to then make sure that the fade works, and that is actually still true. However, my technique of doing so, or getting that to that point, has definitely changed. Whereas before I'd try and line up the vinyls pixel perfect on top of each other and try and resize them exactly the same size. That's just stupid, because there are limits on how far the vinyls will go back and how far to the sides they'll go. Once you find that, each vinyl will be in exactly the same place as the other, which then means that if you resize and move them again or change them, they will all be the same. I'm having to sort of guess now because the spoilers are staying the same colour. Yeah, I can't tell what I'm doing anymore. We're at the bottom of the list yet. Oh, and one other thing, a big shout out to all the people who have previously tried this and succeeded. Yeah, I will say now, the designs, or the tries I've seen so far from you guys have been absolutely fantastic. You really have done a great job. It seems that at least a good number of you guys have managed to follow the tutorial previously to this, and yeah, I mean, this is the reason I'm actually making this for you guys as well, so you can see exactly how I've done this. Yeah, this is definitely not the interesting part, but it's an essential part to this. Now for the moment I'm going to leave the colours as they are too as well, because it's just going to help things as it is. And what I'll do, I'll show you, I'm getting close to the bottom here, I'll show you how I then line the vinyls up to then be the same size. Last one. Right, resize. Doing it from the bottom up. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to leave the colours as they are, and you can see on the side here I've left a little sort of corner there. If I mirror that, that's going to help further down the line too. What we're going to do, mirrored, we'll notch that up. Which what we're going to do previously on that one. If we go to N, we'll turn that white, and then that means when we resize this one, you can fit it exactly over. Go to that, white, resize, next. See? That's exactly over the top. Next that, turn it to white, next vinyl, resize, and up. Not quite the same size actually, let's just adjust that slightly. There we go. Turn it to white, next vinyl, resize. Haven't mirrored half of these, but we'll get there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave the first zone that I'm changing to white as white, because it'll also help line up the rest of the vinyls when it comes to moving them. There's a certain point on each of these vinyls that there's a sweet spot, so either side will look pretty cack, if I'm honest. But if you get it in the right spot, then well, as other things, it's definitely the sweet spot. It will just look like an absolute peach. I have to admit as well, even on the Aventador, I've still, what, about a year down the line, I'm still tweaking that now, because there are some of the colours, they just don't look right no matter what I try and do to change them, so I might have to even go back and redo that. Still we're getting there. I can only assume some of you may have given up by now, which, if you have, how the hell are you still listening to me right now? If you haven't, you've stuck with me, then I am very impressed, and I can only but hope this is going to be of some use to you, because, yeah, this is, you can see how much effort actually goes into doing this and how monotonous it actually is. But then, as with anything, of course, then if it's worth doing right, and generally the things that aren't easy to do are the ones that are the most rewarding. And that's of course you won the lottery, which in which case will be far more rewarding. Almost there again. Just going to rush this a little bit now, because this is getting a little bit out of hand. 2 more. The light at the end of the tunnel. Come on. We're getting there. Okay. Right. I'm going to go back to the bottom. Yes, I did say bottom. And we're going to turn these now. I don't turn these manually. I use that to turn them. Mainly because trying to do it manually is a pain in the arse. There we go. And also because if you do it using the controls here, it will go to the exact spot the other vinyls have all met to as well. There you go, see what I mean? Yeah. I'm using single clicks here as well because, again, a little bit of finesse. You can't just go, ooh, go for it, and hope for the best because you'll just mess it up completely. Not too many. Actually, I tell a lie. I'm using these controls because trying to control vinyls at the rear of the car is, quite frankly, near frigging impossible because certain spots, even if you've got the vinyl quite large, you have to be close to the middle to be able to select it or control it, and yeah, that's just a fiddly piece of crap. Not quite there yet. Oh, too many. For the most part it is because it will line through. For those with epilepsy, I do apologise if I'm giving you a fit with the car flashing as it is. I can't quite help that, but if that's the worst kind of flashing I can do, then you're in luck. Okie doke. Going to go down to the bottom of the list again, and what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the vinyl. Why are you not moving? Oh yes, because you're at the back of the car. And that's the wrong one as well, you dumbass. Yeah, I'm human as well. Okay. What we're going to do, hit mirrored, and we're going to adjust it so then the majority sweeps over the car like so. Mirrored. This isn't an exact science, this part, okay? That's the reason why I have the black triangles over the Aventador, because quite honestly, yeah, it's, as you can see, it makes a bit of a mess. Again, this is one of those processes where it's a pain in the arse, but it's near enough essential because obviously to cover the entire car is the whole purpose. It does seem like every vinyl I've got is slightly larger or slightly more extended than the previous ones. That's fine though, because again, this is not an exact science. If you guys can get it spot on, then perfect. But this is again just to show you how I've done this rather than anything else. This Sylvia will never look the same again. Now, one thing that's actually annoyed me with the game, actually, to be honest, in the paint category, you can adjust the colours one notch at a time by up and down arrows, where with vinyls you cannot. Trying to select an exact colour, especially using a mouse quite often, is... I can't think of a good word to use without swearing. I'll tell you what, I won't, because I won't swear. What we'll do, we'll get on with colouring the car. So, yep, another break and we'll come back in 2 seconds. Okay, so colouring. We're going to click Finish Customising first, because that's the same thing to do. And then what we're going to do, go back to the vinyl shop, because let's face it, if you click Cancel now, you've got to do all that over again. Do you want to do all that again? No, you don't. So we're going to move some of the vinyls first. We're going to do that manually, because in fact, I'll tell you what, as I mentioned earlier, you see that? What I'm going to do is move these a little bit, and we're going to try and group these up into place and keep an exact, as best as I can, distance between them. Again, as I said, this is not an exact science. There will be little bits that are not quite right. Look forward a little bit more. There we go. Again, you haven't got to start from the very rear. You can move them forward a little bit, depending on how many fades you have. Again, you haven't got to have all 26. This is just showing you guys how I've done the rainbow from start to finish. Also, on a side note, I should like to say that the previous sections of video, one was 9 something gigabytes, and the previous section, one we just covered, actually moving and shaping the vinyls, was 33. That's all unprocessed data. So yeah, let's see how this turns out at the end. As you can see, I'm just lining these through as best I can, because what you're looking for, you can just about see where the white turns to yellow. I'm zoomed in as far as I can. Again, you sort of have to guess and make a best effort as you can. Again, looking down, you can see this pretty much lined through fairly well. I can't say it's exact, but yeah. I mean, you can always fine-tune this at a later time. It's not really too hard. No, too far. Again, as I mentioned in the previous sections as well, you can see this at the top there where it's sort of bleeding through, and again that's the reason I have the triangles on the car, because it looks cack otherwise. I won't do the triangles on this for the time being, because that's just something else you guys can do for yourselves. Of course, I would suggest covering that up, because unless of course really want to let people see exactly how that's how that is, but it's your car. You do what you like. Okay, here we go. This is the final one. There we go. That's not quite. What the? I'm not even going to say that. Okie doke. Actually, I'll tell you what, for argument's sake, I'm going to put a black line down the very middle. Line, not circle. There is the damn thing too. Okay, to be fair, that's like sweeping the stuff under a rug. You can't see it, it's out of harm's way. But the thing is, it does actually break up the design as well, so that'll stay there for the moment. Now, right, this is the absolute tricky part, okay? What you need to do. Now I've got the colour codes here already for me, so it's easy for me to see. Zones 1, 2 and 4 will be one colour. Zone 3 will be another. That'll be the gradient colour. Now as you can see, I'm not going to mention the colours because you can see them here, so I will go through each one at a time. Now this is infinitesimally hard to get right to do some of these, so please bear with me. Moves just a notch too many sometimes. Right, got the maximum now. You can't really see that so far, but we're getting there. And please do forgive the lack of commentary. I am currently using most of my brain power to make sure I don't screw this up and get one wrong, because again it's just a fiddly thing to do. It's 21, 26. There you go, starting to take shape now. In fact, that's actually pretty good. Okay, we're going to start going up a bit more of a gradient now. What the hell's happened to that? Oh, that's why, dickhead. There you go. As you can see, it's now starting to fade from red through to orange. We'll keep going for a bit. Well, this is what you wanted, guys. You wanted to see exactly how this is done, or at least some of you did. As you can see, that's not quite lined through properly, so we'll quickly adjust this one as well while we're on it. There you go. As I said, it just takes a little bit of finesse and fine-tuning. I may have to move some of them forward. We'll leave that for the time being. That's fine. So I just hate things being wrong as such. I don't like it being like that. Actually, I had a guy saying I was a hacker as well, just the other day, for having the rainbow design as well. So, you guys, this is actually proof I'm building this myself right now. I just realised it's actually pointing at my own screen. I don't quite understand why I did that, because you guys can't see a damn thing from this end. Here we go again. Just can't get it right. There we go. Gotcha. Taking shape. For anyone who says that they can't do this, you're just not trying. You're not trying, okay? Now you've just sat and watched me for I don't know how many minutes do this. If you can sit there and tell me that you can't do this, well, I just don't know anymore. Have to excuse the any binging, bonging or noises in the background, because I have about 4 or 5 devices on the desk at the time, so yeah, Facebook and God knows what else is making some noises at me. Oh, will you please ping over? No! There we go. Oh, there we go. I was going to put some music in, by the way, guys. However, I have no money to buy music rights with, so yeah, feel free to hum amongst yourselves. Obviously, humming is still royalty free. For your sake, I will not. one other thing as well. Just because you're seeing me do these colours now doesn't mean to say that you have to have them. Okay, you don't have to have these colours like this. As I said, I will show you a different version that you can do. Again, this is it uses exactly the same technique, exactly the same. Nothing deviates at all except for the coloration. Oh, will you get up there, please? 212. Thank you. That was almost spot on, that was. Bastard thing. Yeah, I can also say now as well, the blue and purple section is where I have most of my problems. So if yours doesn't look ultra fantastic, hyper, uber, oh my god, that's insane, instantly, don't worry, because you can join the club. Get in there! Some more Facebook. I also hope, guys, now you see why I will never, ever make this design for anyone else. I don't care how many times I've asked this question, I will not go onto your account and make that, because to even do this video has taken me, well, most of the patience, oh that was lucky, most of the patience I have today. Oh, that one back here, we're going to notch that one slightly back towards white. There we go. So 3. There we go. Let's add a couple more things to this. And you know what? I'm actually going to leave this car like this. I really am, because that way, if I do this, finish customizing, yes, because I want to keep the damn thing like so. And there you guys have it. that is one rainbow car. Now you've seen from start to finish exactly how I've done this car. As I said, you will need to tweak it a little bit here and there because, as you can see from certain parts, especially back here, you can see the bleed lines through, and here as well, and down here. But that is the crux of it. That is how I've put it together. That's all the... how can I put it? There is nothing more now to tell you. If you can't make this design now, then yeah, just don't try. Seriously, just give up and go, no, you know what, I'm just going to paint it a single colour. Definitely give it a go. If after watching this you don't want to hang yourself, then that's brilliant, because that means I've not bored you completely to death. I will say now, this may be the last video I make for Need for Speed World. It depends, because there's currently a competition running, at least at the time of recording this video, to post pictures for the main Need for Speed World guys to use. That may mean there's more future to this game than people realise. Who knows? But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, the Rainbow from start to finish. I thank you. Okay, so now that the car is finished, I mentioned a while ago that you don't have to have the rainbow. Okay, I mean, you've seen the Aventador, you've seen him. Not many people might have seen this. Now that uses exactly the same technique, and all this does, I'll go into him and show you. Each colour is a single notch down from the previous. It just works all the way back through. Now what I will say is that some colours will work well, some won't. Okay, as you can see, this is not too bad at all. It fades really rather well. So really rather well, even. Don't try red to yellow. Okay, I'll tell you what, quickly show you why not. The video is almost an hour long as it is, but hey ho, shit happens, eh? Right, let's do red. I'm not going to save this as it is. That's 4, that leaves you 7. That's fine. Okay, so far so good, right? Still not looking too bad. That is the reason why. Okay, don't know if you can see this now building in. And there's my brother again. Hello, dude. Oh, for God's sake, go back down. 26, please. There you go. God, this takes so much. As you can see, it's going to orange, almost to yellow, pretty quickly, but you can barely see the change beforehand. It just looks too severe. It really, really does. I can carry on going. But yeah, as you can see, it just doesn't look right, because it goes up to yellow far too quickly once it leaves the reds. Let me revert that back. Don't save. God, jeez. Nearly. So yeah, that's why I would not have this car red through to yellow. Yellow through to green, green through to blue, blue into obviously pink isn't bad either. But just be careful again when you get to sort of the complete other end. Try and sort of go for a almost green blue through to a pink, because the other extreme is it's like the red and yellow. It fades and fades and fades, and suddenly, choom, and it will really change colour very quickly. I don't quite know why that is. It's annoying, it's frustrating, because the colour codes and the numbers, they go up fairly slowly to start with as well. It's not like they go up in huge increments. So yeah, that's kind of frustrating. The next thing is, you don't have to have 26, 28, I don't know how many vinyls. You can use just a few. Now, my very seldom seen Porsche Panamera Turbo, that just does a simple fade from black through to red. That's only 10 vinyls did that. You can probably get away with doing maybe 5, even 3, to get a decent effect. I mean, as you can see, that a single kerosene vinyl over the whole car and then mirrored, it doesn't look that great. I've still got to do some work on this. One other car, my Lexus LFA, again that does a fade. This one does it from white through to blue, so there's actually fewer fades in total, so it's going down from maximum white through to the maximum colour. So again, you can pick and choose how you want to do this. So there was one more car, yeah, the Bentley Continental Super Sport as well. Again, on this one I've just gone across the car, so the colour accent's on the side and the white is on the top. Again, that doesn't use very many vinyls, but again it uses the same technique, so it only changes one increment at a time rather than 45. So there we go, guys. Them's the brakes. Is that how the saying goes? Okay, and if anyone has any questions about this, I do appreciate the fact you sat here for about an hour watching this video. If you have, thank you very much. I still appreciate all comments. If you've only got to feedback with abuse, then just go elsewhere. I will moderate the comments myself. But in any case, again, thank you for your support. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this video now. by all means, if you're on the Apex server and you want to whisper my IGN, I will do the safe house for you. There I am, Daxtron, D-A-X-T-R-O-N. Please don't send me a random friend request. I will delete them as I see them, unless of course I know you or have spoken to you. But in the chat, if you just type, go to whisper, and then do that, so it's Daxtron dot. All I'll get is a full stop with you, and if you right click then my profile, you'll get to see that. And yeah, sure, have a look through with cars, and if something piques your interest, then let me know what it is, because never know, I might be nice enough to actually make a tutorial on how I did that. Anyway, thanks very much, guys.